All right, so we talked a lot about we just want to look at you. Don't really care about what your teammates are doing. If I hear you once in this VOD, be like, oh, but he should have done it. No. No. We just looking at mouse this game. Should I play Pike mid this season? If you win on it, sure. Otherwise, I don't know. Like, you can try it out. There's no harm in trying it out. I would say probably stay away from it unless you're hard, like, dead set on it. But... yeah, that's better than Pike mid this season. That's still good. If you play a calling mid, just ban whatever you can't play against. Like, people ask me, oh, should I just ban the hardest counter? Like, no, just ban whatever you can't play against. Like, I ban Cassid in every game because I play Annie and I'm just never going to see that. I refuse.
I permaban Katarina.
Yeah.
Even though she's not bad against Yasuo, she just gets so ahead, like, from bot lane or, like, just random kills.
Yeah. There's only a couple champions I can think of that have, like, really hard... oh, okay. So, how do we feel right now? What is this good or bad?
You gave her the lane.
Yeah. This is really bad.
I'm sorry. That's just your fault, but yeah.
We want to be playing the game from when the game starts. So, I mean, okay, we have a lot to talk about already.
Not gonna lie, I have no idea how mage matchups go, because I, like, never actually play the mage.
Yeah. And what champion is this?
Malzahar?
Or, not... sorry. Fucking... what was I asking? What rank is this, is what I meant to ask.
Silver 4.
Silver 4. Okay, got you. Nico, TF, and Nivea, yeah, that's fine. Vampire, what rank are you? Because as...
at the moment.
okay, yeah, that's fine. As you get into, like, Plat Plus, it will be nice to have an AD pick in there. But that's fine for now, yeah. So generally, when we 5-point... where should we stand level... oh, am I recording? Dude, I think I might have forgot to start the recording. Oh my goodness. Okay. VOD reviews. Oh my goodness, I feel so bad. Okay. VOD reviews, and good thing we didn't start this one yet. Okay, so when we 5-point, who knows where we go? So first of all, why do we 5-point?
What is point?
Yeah, okay, sorry. I'm way ahead of myself. Game is just starting. Where do we go?
In front of the tower.
Covering
yeah,
all,
let's just AFK here. No,
just cover, like, entrances.
yeah, you cover an entrance. The most common way, and why do we cover entrances?
So they don't
Invades.
put the ward in, like,
Yeah.
invade.
Protect, vision plus invade. We don't want them to get a lead before the game even starts. And sometimes we get leads before the game even starts. Like, that's kind of what we want to do. In general, the most common way that we get this done is called a 5-point defense. And this is when you use each player to block off a part of the map, and you cannot break through this in terms of, like, you cannot sneak through this. The only way to deal with a 5-point is to kill one of the 5 points, which happens, but if you're doing this, they can't sneak around you. So this is where each person is in, like, guards. Like, each person has a spot. So does anybody know where the spots are? So assuming we're blue side.
Both ramps and, like, the tribush is like that. Well, the tribush is both, and the second ramp at, like, top lane, I guess.
So we put the bottom here. We put the support here.
And both entrances.
We put the jungle here. And we put the top lane here. Where do we go?
We go right in the middle.
Yes, sir. We stand right here. Why?
To prevent the...
like,
yeah.
So they can't go through the side.
River.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful. So if you don't know what we want to do, if our team isn't like, hey, we're gonna go invade, hey, we're gonna go stack bottom, whatever. If you don't know what you're doing level 1, please just walk here. So not only, like, if they do something top, you get really easy access here, but you also deny them from, like, 5-man cheesing one of these bushes. So, like, this is just really, really good. Right.
What I usually see is, like, both ADC and support are, like, in tribush. So I cover the ramp, and there's no one mid, I guess.
Yeah, which is not ideal, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Sometimes you have to do that, but, like, if they're all standing here anyways, like in this game, we had fucking 3 people here. Yeah, just still stand mid. Like, there's no reason to not. And you can sit in this bush too, right? Like you can. This just gives you a lot of.
I think it's like a bad habit that I've created because of my elo. Just kind of I've had nobody cover that entrance before, and my jungler pay for it. So I just out of habit go there instead of taking mid. But I'll take mid from now on like that.
Yeah, and I want you. Well, and another thing this does is it sets you up to actually be aggressive in the lane. What's happening right now?
He has complete control wave.
Yeah, she's getting prio. She's getting push. This is wave 1. We can think ahead to wave 2. What happens on wave 2?
Gets 2 first.
Yeah, she gets level 2 first, and she gets to pressure this prio and push even more. She's like, this is awful. We need to be here.
Or something like really quick, like
Sure.
Since I literally have no idea how mage matchups play out because I literally never played one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you like summarize like? I know that's really vague, but like
How would the matchup
what decides like what decides how the matchup plays out? You know what I mean? Like,
Usually, I mean, like when we're playing something like a Yone or a Yasuo, or whatever, like we're trying to kill people, we're trying to beat up resources. It's the same thing as a mage, right? Except usually in this matchup, we'll know, well, neither side is likely going to die, so it becomes a battle of resources. What resource? It's a battle of mana, usually. So, war of attrition is what LS really likes to call this, and I like this term because neither of you should die. If either of you die, something horribly went wrong. But in a war of attrition, it's just whose mana pool is going to be empty first. If she has no mana, and we have mana, what do we have? Like, what does that mean? What does that translate into?
spells.
Yeah, so, yep, we get, yeah, exactly, pressure. You just get to push the wave on repeat, she can't do shit, the game's over, right? And vice versa is also true. If we have no mana, and she gets to just push, well, she gets to push, and she gets to roam, and she gets to shove and plates, and all that shit. So, in general, in these wars of attrition, where there's going to be low deaths, it just comes down to mana versus mana. So that means whoever uses their spells more efficiently is going to win.
I heard LS say something like attack their mana pool, I guess?
Yeah, yep.
How
So
do
you put pressure on them to make them use their abilities as least efficiently as possible. So can somebody give me an example of an efficient ability? Like an efficient spellcast?
I think hitting both the minion wave and...
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, that's an amazing example. So if you want to be efficient with your mana, you do more than one thing. So you, like, a beautiful example is hit 2 things at once. Hit 2 at once. So you get poke and you get wave pressure. That's amazing. Like, that's really efficient. What's an example of forcing somebody to waste a spell? What's a wasted spell?
Not standing on the wave, I guess. Like, standing
Yeah.
inside.
So, like, if we walk up here and she throws charm because she has to, and then we sidestep it, yeah, she just wasted something, right? So, like, just dodging, like, hit 0 things, right? I guess there's a way you could say that. Hit 0 there. So, and kind of in the middle, you have to hit 1 thing, and that's how most abilities get used. But whoever's able to hit 2 things at once and force the other person to hit nothing at once, this is what this matchup is going to come down to. And this is very, very common, especially in like control mage versus control mage, or like poke mage mirrors as well. Like, this is kind of the whole entire game. Ahri's a little bit different because she's a burst mage, and those play a lot more like assassins, because she might actually have a kill opportunity on you this game, especially because it's like lower MMR. But generally speaking, if you can trust yourself not to die, this is the matchup.
Yeah, I played versus like I think bad Ahri one. That was like
Yeah.
And what I realized is they just auto attack way more. Like
Because they can, because they have way more range.
Yeah, like usually in mine, but like no one does that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Like especially mages, like just don't auto attack.
And well, and that's why I said, I think it was yesterday we reviewed an Annie bot, and I asked him, does Annie beat Zed level 1? And what do you guys say?
Yes.
The answer is
Demolishes.
of course. Yeah, the answer is of course. So, Annie should have a lead level 1. She has a lead level 1. She hits level 2 first. She should be able to pressure a bigger lead level 2. Annie should win the first 3 waves against an assassin every single time, no matter the assassin. Right.
Speaking
that's
of which, oh sorry.
No, go ahead.
What you were talking about yesterday about how assassin plays into mage, I actually experienced that not too long with like the game I was recording for the VOD.
Oh, really? Yeah. And you'll start to see it all the time, and you'll realize, oh, like the first couple waves are the most like solved part of League. You'll realize they play out the same every single time, especially in like high MMR.
Yeah, and then once he hit 3, I couldn't punish him like it was.
Yeah, and then you look to kill him. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Beautiful, love to hear it. All right, so let's get into this.
Things that I'm looking to do, like, because I don't want to give up that early advantage or anything like that.
You
I
already
usually
did.
ultra passive, so I just wait till I can wave push, because at this elo they'll just waste their abilities and give up their mana before I do.
Yeah, you already kind of gave up the lane, so you could have been pressuring her mana pool already, and pressuring her health. So as level 1, as Malzahar, like, it's good. Usually the general rulers only use E on the opponent. Oh, I need to get some water, dude. Okay, let me grab my water. Okay, sorry. But generally, as Malzahar, level 1, you just only use E on her. You have a lot of opportunity to get a health advantage here already, just through whenever she auto-attacks those first couple minions, you just hit E on her, right? If she does something, she has an opportunity cost for that something, you should be able to punish her. Like,
What
that's
I
a
see
fundamental
some
game
Malzahars
concept.
do, at like level 1,
Ugh.
before even the minions come, they just E. Like, they just run up to you and E you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is awful. I hate this.
Question: is he zoning himself from XP as well, or is he still
No.
inside the XP range?
He's in XP range, but this is
Okay.
just awful.
Okay.
This is what the tier 2 drill, for you guys who are doing the CSing drills, this is what the tier 2 drill is supposed to look like. But this is just ridiculous to do this right now.
I think that's what happened in my last game. I started playing like it was the tier 2 drill.
Same, I was first half drill.
Yeah, you need to like step into the space. League is a lot like it's a lot like kind of a dance, right? Where you guys are kind of like, it's a lot like a fight where you guys are, I guess a fight kind of better, where you guys are on top of each other. You guys have these 2 ranges of interest. And you guys want these ranges to be like right on top of each other. And if she steps back, you kind of want to step into that space. If you step back, she gets to step in and abuse that. That's what's been happening. You just gave her all of this space on the playing field, where like you really should be trying to contest that.
But the drill really helped me, like, stress me, like, that's
Yeah, it's good.
so I could have stopped the option.
Yeah, that drill will make you noticeably better, especially for the ones. If you guys failed it, especially, like there's room for you to be a better player. People who are passing it, it's like, oh, okay, well something else is going on. But it's super easy to fix that problem because you just drill it for a while.
Real quick, I have a question. I was practicing the level 3 for like a couple hours and I got like 50 CS setbacks at best. Is that alright?
How much?
50 CS at 10?
That's awful.
Yeah.
Because you know how many minions you missed?
In theory, 100 or 50.
64.
It's about 60.
Ah.
So if you got 50 by 100 minutes, or by 10 minutes, sorry. Yeah, 50 by 100 would be awful.
Another story.
50 by 10 minutes means you missed literally more than you got. So what rank are you?
A silver 4.
Yeah, okay, so a silver 4, I would recommend do tier 1. And make sure that you're 19 for 19 or 18 for 19 every single time. Because that will be very impactful, and chances are you probably can't do that because, and like not to be mean or anything, but when I went through, goodness, dude. Okay, hold up, give me 1 second. Share. See what Harry said.
For the T3 drill, I had a pass, even though I got like 16. It's like, I guess I wasn't stepping far enough, like far away enough.
Yeah, the whole point of these is to like really pressure yourself, because we want you to fail. If you're not failing,
Yeah,
there's not a problem there. But you can see, like, out of all of this, I looked at like 30 people, and I think 4 passed, right? So, and a lot of these are like tier 1 too. So this shows me, and it's ridiculous because like I'll be watching you guys' VODs, you guys just like miss CS when people
Wait,
aren't.
for me, it's by the way in tier 3.
Where?
Yes,
Yeah, what number?
14.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I was like doing the FT and like.
Oh, okay, interesting. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I think the fail roll is the same. But yeah, I mean, we only had a couple of passes because this is hard. But this is good because like when I watch you guys have these very obvious like mechanical errors. It's just if you stop doing that, it's super easy to fix. Just go through the fucking drill for 30 minutes a day, for a week, and you'll stop failing the tier you're at, and you do it for the next tier, and by the end of that, you're just a division or 2 better because you have brain, like you have more brain power to do some things that matter, not like just hitting elastic, right? So this is very, very important to practice. What is my point? But yeah, those drills are very, very good, and they are hard, and hopefully you do fail them because that means you have a very actionable, easy step you can take to be better tomorrow, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing I wanted to bring up: if you're like silver, if you're like bronze to silver, start with tier 1 first, because the a very common problem with silver and bronze players that you guys just miss last all the time. Do tier 1 until you're consistently on the first 3 waves. You're 18 or 19 out of 19 minion, right? Because the first 3 waves, it's 6 normal, 6 normal plus a cannon. So 19 is perfect. Make sure you're getting 18 or 19 every single time, and then go into tier 2 and press yourself a little bit more. This is usually where like gold plus player, like I expect you to start doing tier 2. And then tier 3, like I don't expect anybody below diamond to even try tier 3 because this shit is incredibly hard, and you need to be stressing yourself and you need to be pushing extremely hard. But if you're in diamond and you can't do this, this is a problem, and it's super easy to get good at that. And in diamond, I mean this. Somebody brought it up earlier where it doesn't really matter because the character. Well, with diamond, you're better than 99% of the current ranked population, which is insane. That's so incredibly high. So the things that will make you better in diamond plus are minuscule, and they're smaller incremental improvements, right? Where these, like tier 1 and tier 2, are very, very easy, and they're very, very noticeable. If you start to be able to do 18 and 19 out of 19 minions every single game, you'll notice you're ahead more often every single game. And the same thing with tier 2. If you can move and flow around the lane and still get these last hits, you notice, oh, it's really easy to last hit in gold. Because like these gold players aren't pressuring you that much. You just flow to where there's space and you get the last hit. If you have 10 CS a minute or if you're perfect CS, you're 12 and 2/3 CS a minute in gold, you're no longer gold after you do that for 15 games, 20 games, 30 games, right? Like it really is that easy. Does this make sense to everybody? Everybody okay with that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I managed to pass the first one, but failed the second one.
Really? That makes sense. I mean, I guess that makes sense. And anybody, I know there's a couple people who passed. If you guys know the people who passed, you can ask them to pass you if you have like a recording or whatever. So I know if Cast Iron Master's in here.
Hey there.
Yeah, you passed tier 2, right?
I did.
Yeah, so you can, like, anybody, I don't need to, like, give you work, but if you want, you can, like, hop in that voice channel or whatever. You can pass people, and you can tell them, tier 2 or tier 1, you can pass people through. And that's how that works.
Gotcha.
If you win and you get a roll, you're allowed to give those rights to somebody else, like, whatever. Let's see. Okay, let's get back to the VOD. Yeah, this is awful because we've just done nothing the entire lane. What you were saying about you don't know what you did wrong makes a lot of sense now. Because you're not even applying pressure. You're letting the game happen to you. You're playing to not lose rather than playing to win. I need you to create pressure. Even from like, even right when the game starts, I want you to be pressuring mid and look for some shit to happen level 1. Right, does that make sense? That kind of philosophy?
Definitely.
An ally has been slain.
Play to win. It's much better if you play to win and you fucking chain int than if you... Oh, Eros is sending a message. Okay, Eros is gonna take over after I'm done. I'll tell him I have, what, an hour and a half left?
Is this the, like, winners and losers game concept? I guess?
I'm not familiar with it.
I heard, like, Coach Curtis talking about it, but he didn't go in depth.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Oh, I can go over it. I know what he's talking about.
Sure, you can bring it up. I love
So, winner's game is when you have to do something to win the game, and like it's usually your higher skilled people that they don't mess up normally, so they got to do something to win it. While loser's game is you wait for someone to slip up and punish it. And his analogy was like playing tennis, right? That you have to actually put it in the other person's area instead of hitting the net and doing fancy tricks.
Sure.
Yeah, so...
Okay. No, that...
No, it's just pure mentality of how you play.
Yeah, so I've heard, I've heard Coach Curtis talk about similar things, and what's interesting about that is Coach Curtis believes, and I believe this as well, I got coached by him, so I like a lot of his stuff. But...
How do you even get coached by him? Because I tried to apply to it.
Oh,
You have to apply for his Discord.
Yeah, the openings are like, they're so like random.
I was like one of the first people in there. It was weird, because there were like 20 of us. Yeah, it was interesting. You know, I was I sent him an email, and I'm like, dude, I'm a collegiate player. I went from like gold to masters in a year and a half. I'm looking to be really good. Please coach me. And like, yeah, he's like, dude, I'd love to work with you. Let's get some work done. So yeah, it was awesome. He's an amazing coach. I love Coach Curtis.
I'm looking forward to this. Trying to get a session with him. I don't know how. Like I tried it.
Yeah, it's hard, but it is worth it. Shoot, what was I saying? Yeah, he has this philosophy that like you don't actually need to try to create opportunity until masters. And the idea there is, if you just like, there are these fundamental game ideas, right? These are things like cooldown advantage. If they use a cooldown, you have an opportunity. That means you can either trade resources, you can go for wave priority, you can step up, you can create space whenever they have a cooldown until that cooldown's back up, right? Other fundamental ideas like tethering. You need to be spacing the correct amount of distance between your lane opponents. There are all these kind of fundamental ideas where if you just don't break the rules, these are like general rules for competing in League of Legends. If you do not break these rules, you'll be masters. It is that simple. And lots of people know the rules, but it's very, very hard to actually not break them, right? Where he says in Masters, now you have all these rules, now you have to get creative and start doing things to create opportunity, doing things to like actually force things to happen, whatever. Yeah. And low elo in this context is diamond and below. You can be the top 10%, you can be plat, you can be the top 1% in diamond, and people will still break these fundamental rules, and all you do is simply capitalize them. But what you need to do is also not break the rules. So if we look at the fundamental game concepts in this game, you've broken a lot of them. You weren't tethering correctly because you were way back here, so you were mispositioned. Whenever she used her cooldown, or whenever she used an auto attack timer, you didn't match that with similar pressure. You didn't hit her with an E when she auto attacked. You didn't match autos on the wave to keep the pressure in the mid, or to keep the wave relatively in the middle to give her this free prio. Like, you didn't do any of these things, right?
In like matchups where you got outscaled.
Yeah, no. I conceded just to wait till I got items.
Yeah, and that's obviously wrong, right? Am I making that clear?
Definitely.